I think my favorite activity as an ambassador are probably our daily visits or or meetings with students. Being able to connect with people that are interested in the College of Education or on their journeys to being college students is really it's an honor to be a part of someone's experience and guide students and give them my experience, give them my suggestions, and so.
I think that's my favorite too. I love getting to talk to incoming or newly admitted students because there's so much joy that they're bringing, and we have found so much joy in OSU that being able to kind of let them see into what their joy will be, it's so exciting. And I love looking back on my experience of my time at the College of Education and being like, this was so fun, you're gonna love it. I think that's really special too.
More specifically than that, I think it's really fun when we have presentations to people who aren't necessarily initially interested in education, whether it's the class visits into some of the intro courses where not everybody in there is an education major, and then they come to the office after class. Oh, they talked about this, can you tell me more? I think that's so cool. Or when we visit high schools or middle schools in the area and say, hey, these are opportunities, you can be this student.
When I was applying for this job, I didn't really understand the world of the College of Education that well because I was still a freshman, and so I hadn't gotten involved with a lot of this stuff. And then it's just like I have met so many people and gotten to know so many people and things that I didn't know about before. I don't know, I feel like I'm a part of this community now.
For me, it was kind of just to get a job, and it was something along the lines of education because that is one of my degrees. And I also needed to be more social and more involved on campus, and I got that and more because now I know so much more about my own program and about other programs that can be beneficial for educators.
I really just like being in the office because there's always stuff going on, and so you can always just be like, oh, there's this really specific thing that we can discuss and like get into the nitty-gritties of, but also we can like talk to anybody that comes in with any questions, and then we can just like, there's just always constantly talking and helping and learning.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you because I also really like working in the office, and I enjoy going to events, but I really enjoy even planning them and being like the background of that, and having those skills to plan events as well as like team working, which I love doing. It's really beneficial for everyone involved, and then we get to come up with these events that are so fun, like the spooky bingo that we did in the fall. That was really fun, and then we had like that event in the office too, so we got to see like the students coming in, and we got to meet them, and then we got to see how they were being more involved with the College of Education.
I think my favorite recent interaction with a student, as a prospective student, being able to talk with them, talk with their family about the options we have here, and being able to let them know that things are going to be okay. We have the program for them, we have the peer support for them, the advising support for them, just letting them know that college can be difficult, but it's worth it, especially if you're doing it for the right reasons.
The one that stood out to me is a student who I remember meeting with on Zoom when I was a freshman, and they were a junior in high school, and they were just coming to one of our information sessions. And then the following year, they came to one of our student visit days on campus, and I remember them, and they remembered me, and I met their parents, and then they sent a couple emails over the following year. They reached out to me when they got accepted, they reached out to me when they committed, and they're a sophomore here now, and I still check in with them, and that was really cool to watch that like full circle process happen, and hopefully they'll make it all the way to graduation.
It was one of the first opportunities for me to see like what that close relationship with a peer could look like in a way that's not a friendship, but like I genuinely am helping you figure out how to get the tools you need, find the people you need, and find your way. And so that stuck with me because of just how much of an impact that was.
Students should meet with an ambassador, and it is different from meeting with an advisor because you get more of the student perspective and not necessarily like the staff perspective. which obviously is still very helpful. You should meet with your advisor. But having that perspective from a student in whether it be classes or campus life or just any advice that you need, having another student who has been through an experience similar or that same experience is what you need at that moment.
I think there's something to be said about the lived experience of another student just the year prior or the term prior, or, even if they're saying like, oh, I'm taking that too, we'll be in it together. Something about having that shared or lived experience, I think really makes it that much more meaningful. And yeah, our advisors are incredible, but they're not going through it. So.
I think there's also a layer of like people being nervous to meet with their advisors or just generally resistant, which they shouldn't be because they're all awesome, but there is just that like, oh, like I have to schedule a meeting and I have to go in and I have to go see this like important person. I know I kind of felt that way sometimes, and then I met Thomas and it's fine. But I think that the peer advising can just kind of bridge that gap, especially if it's like your first couple of times coming to the advising office, or it's just a small thing and you're like, oh, I don't want to bother them over just a small question. Don't bother us. Like, that's what we're there for. So.
And I want to second the lived experiences part. Even if I don't know and can't relate to the student, I can draw on any of your experiences. I'll say, okay, we have a student ambassador that's student teaching, and we talk when we're in the office, and I can tell you about our experience.
Yes, we do.
And I can talk. I can talk about dual majoring. I can talk about the honors college, and I can talk about extracurriculars that you do and our experiences in the elementary education program. And we have different connections sitting at the desk, being in meetings together. We know each other's schedules. We know what we're doing. And so even if I don't know the question, I can draw on your experiences and